One of the reasons why there's so much inaction and so much delay in government, is a kind of atmosphere that is created that the best decision.
CCTV cameras for the chief minister to not be able to reach his police officer because the wireless system doesn't work.
I'm not defending that. All I'm trying to say is every decision is questioned, every action is suspect, every note sheet can be distorted, every government order can be questioned on its motives.
I understand the fear to some extent, but I do not understand the fear when lives are involved. I understand that the debate around transparency in governance has got shrill. Some would say it was a needed corrective and India will find its balance somewhere. That we went from a period of entrenched corruption, so you needed that level of noise to bring back the trade, three television studios and Kangaroo courts. I agree with that. I'm personally extremely uncomfortable with that trend in television, but I cannot accept that it can become the basis for jeopardizing the lives of Indians. That's the only disagreement. When taken to that level, I would say.
In that chapter, did you correctly understand the character of the Naxalite? Understand the character of the Naxalite leaders. They have held women as slaves and captives. Their children study in the best schools. That they kill and shoot and commit all kinds of depredations. For what? For bringing about an overthrow of the established system of government. When you heard President Obama yesterday,
yes,
what he spoke about terrorism, maybe not in that.
That does not take away from the reality of terror. It does not take away from the reality of foreign funding for this terror, whether in Naxal terrorism or in Jammu and Kashmir. But it does not mean.
Now, you seem to think that development can take place before the people who can bring about development can even enter that area. No doctor can go there, no nurse can go there, no teacher can go there. You build a school, they blow up the school. You build a road, they mine the road. Therefore, it's not the first step, first to secure the place before. We did not have 282. The highest number we had is 201.
But you were stopped by your own colleagues in the cabinet and by Mrs. Gandhi.
No, I'm not.
Who had a much more extreme version of the view you think I have.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm not taking any names. The point I'm making is that opinion in these issues will always be divided. But eventually, one has to take, as you said, a leadership position. You have to.
I don't think Mr. Rahul Gandhi likes me either. I'm in a very special position. I have managed to piss off Mr. Modi and Mr. Rahul Gandhi.
We're talking about.
Isn't
Mr.
that
Modi.
I'm an equal opportunity offender?
No, it is not. We're talking about Mr. Modi. That there are only 2 journalists who were not invited to the tete-a-tete with the Prime Minister. One of them being you.
And the other was Rajdeep.
Other was Rajdeep.
Yes.
Rajdeep Sir.
Yes.
What I
that he has a capacity for being more of a pragmatist than a polemicist. I think we've seen that in his Pakistan policy. What his rhetoric was is very different from the policy he pursues today. And I believe that he will. On Twitter, you can tell a biased anchor right now. And may I just say that while Mr. Modi doesn't like me, one of the common things that has happened to our politics, I do want to make this point to you, Mr. Chidambaram, is that politicians have found a way of talking to people bypassing mainstream media. And that applies to Mr. Modi, but it also applies to the Gandhi family, it applies to many other politicians. And I believe that's very dangerous for our democracy.
Well, I don't want to push you further. I know that the government is here to stay for another 40 months and you perhaps will.
40 months. And after that?
Well, after that there will be an election.
And you believe the result will be different?
I believe we are a democracy, isn't it? I want to ask the final question.
Yes.
You talk about
I would say I'm upper middle class economically, but I would say in my values, I am
upper
still
middle class is upper
middle
middle
class
class,
progressive.
or as upper middle class as I define upper middle class.
I don't know how you define it.
I said even the very rich call themselves
No,
upper
I'm
middle
certainly
class.
nowhere close to it. When I entered journalism, my salary was 8,000 rupees a month, and I know.
In my first brief, I got 150 rupees.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I have the book. Here we have the book. Yes.
Used his book in the book? Yeah. Oh, yes. One X and one print. No, that was even better.
Thank you, Mr. Chidambaram. Thank you so much.
This is Shade Vikram Shah's mother, and they were all there. She's quite a woman, huh? She's quite a woman.
Please. Thank you, women. And that is what I'm here to talk to Kangana about today. Women, feminism, and the new Indian woman. Is there such a thing, or is that just a media cliche? And I'm just going to read out a brief passage to set the stage for our conversation. This is from my book. In today's India, the millennial generation has thrown up what I call the new rebels. Young women are embracing things that were once taboo, or words that are typically used as pejoratives against them, and converting them into provocative statements of power. So whether these are slut walks or slogans of equality scribbled on sanitary napkins that are now plastered across campus walls, the urban feminist in India is looking for a fresh idiom to express herself in. The clash between the old feminism and the new was reflected in the cultural debate triggered by the Nirbhaya rape. On one of my shows soon after the Delhi rape, veteran actress Shabana Azmi and the much younger star Priyanka Chopra got into a raging argument over what Hindi films call the item number. While Indian society remains puritanical and closed when it comes to talking openly about sex, the portrayal of women in popular culture is now hyper-sexualized like never before. Is the formal advent of the item girl in Indian films a flamboyant serenade extraneous to the plot and inserted just for its in-your-face sexuality? Is it a sign of emancipation or another manifestation of the male gaze? Shabana believed it was the latter and called for women in the industry to make informed decisions about songs that were sexualizing even little girls who would then repeat the pouty lyrics at weddings. Look at the lyrics. Did women really want to be referred to as tandoori murgi or chikni chameli? Priyanka argued that it was all about choice and that free choice was the cornerstone of all feminism. Had someone asked me to take a side, I would have found it difficult. I remember feeling entirely conflicted when during the course of a television debate on censorship, I met Mumaid Khan, a sultry beauty best known for her gyrating and pouting to the camera. At one point, springing to her feet, she pointed to the short skirt riding up her toned thighs and proclaimed aggressively that this was the freedom women wanted. The age of draping women only in salwar kameezes was over, she yelled with thunderous applause. As a young Muslim from a conservative Lucknow family, she had defied several norms and cultural assumptions. But in the process, had she just adopted an alternative stereotype where her freedom was to be defined by a camera traveling up to her navel. So this is just a passage from the book, and thank you so much. And my guest today is somebody who I believe has rewritten a lot of the old rules in the film industry. Not just that, she is refreshingly candid, she is not politically correct, and she speaks her mind. And over and above all that, her film Queen, according to me, is absolutely inspirational for young women who are looking to break free from old shackles. So thank you so much, Kangana Ranaut. Let's welcome Kangana to this evening.
Hi, good evening everyone. And congratulations.
Thank you. I want you to talk a little bit about your own journey from being a small town girl in Himachal Pradesh to getting to this point. From growing up in a family where you have quite openly admitted that your family was more favorably disposed towards your brother, and in some ways openly discriminated against you, to the point that one day you decided you were going to run away from home?
I think this kind of discrimination exists even today, and I won't say there was anything unusual about my childhood, but I appreciate the fact that today we talk so much about women empowerment, and I don't know how much of difference it's making, but I think somewhere children who are growing up and women who are going to be now Gen Next and their schools and their teens, they at least to understand there's something wrong in being discriminated, as opposed to us who growing up didn't see it as something which was wrong. Like I thought it's a matter of fact that being a girl child is a liability on our parent, and
You felt like a liability?
yes, and because there was no other perspective that we had growing up. I felt that it's fair for my parents to feel that taking care of a girl child, like, because these conversations were everyday's thing, that you raise a child and you invest so much in her education, and then she goes about to basically take care of someone else's house, and there's so much dowry that you have to. So it's basically not a very good scenario for them, and as opposed to a son who just brings another person to work at their houses, or and brings a lot of money along with other gifts for the families. This is how actually middle class families feel, who struggle to make the ends meet. For them, those gifts.
The girl is a liability.
Yeah,